live trading model demonstration. This morning we will be testing on Euro US dollar. We have got an Excel trading model. We are using the MetaTrader 5 connection to the markets, and we have just had some big news in the markets. We have seen the CPI print about 1 hour ago, and we have seen the bottom fall out of the market. So we don't know what is going to happen. Euro US dollar is down about 1.5% since then, and it looks like we've got an exciting session ahead of us. With me this morning is Ren Vallow. How are you
Hey,
today,
good morning,
Ren?
Mark. Good, Mark. I'm watching the market. It's a bit of fireworks show here.
It's been crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. So we've got a couple of minutes. We normally think about starting when we have the stock market open at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we've got a couple of minutes till then. So I wanted to just have a quick look through the potential of MetaTrader 5, because it's not just a Forex platform. So we have obviously the Forex market, and we can see top left of your screen, you can see MetaTrader 5, you can see Euro US dollar there, and the huge move we've had in the roughly 50 minutes since we had the CPI number, US CPI number. So that is the Euro US dollar. Got a very similar picture in cable, GBP USD, Canadian dollar. We see the reverse as US dollar strengthens there. You can see that picture in just about every market. So there is a big range of Forex currency pairs available naturally, and there's going to be a lot more than these ones.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
Japanese yen. So you've also got, mostly in the form of CFDs, you've also got things like, here we have a S&P futures CFD available here, equivalent of the ES. And you can see a
Yep.
huge move in that. We have even bigger move here, equivalent of the NASDAQ futures
Wow.
NQ. So we have had a big move today. You can even see it in copper. Plenty of stocks available, along with things like copper, crude oil there as well. And indeed, of course, these days, Bitcoin
Yep. Good
and the
old
other
Bitcoin.
cryptos. So I'm going to go back to Euro US dollar. And I'm going to show you the model you can see now on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Since last week, Ren, you've made some interesting updates to the model. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure, Mark. Yeah, so lately we've been connecting to MetaTrader 5 and really enjoying the platform. It's kind of a new thing for both of us. So I enabled the data streaming to Excel. That's been working really well. And I just recently this week enabled the actual trading so that we can actually trade in the demo account with MetaTrader 5. So we're still working through tweaking all the small things with that, but generally speaking, we're placing trades, buy and sell trades to the demo account on MetaTrader successfully. So we're kind of at the same point that we were with Rhythmic, and I would say at this point. And I've just recently opened up a brokerage firm that does connect with MetaTrader 5. So I'm going to actually give it a shot with some of these currency markets just to see how it actually trades and give a report back to make sure that, the simulated trading and the real trading are very similar. So they offer the virtual private servers close to different exchanges. So I'm going to look into trying one of those, and they're very affordable for MetaTrader 5. Some of them are as low as $5 a month. So I was like pretty impressed with the price.
Yeah.
I'm sure that those aren't the best, but there's some that are as low as $5 up to 100, depending on where it's located.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, so we've got this new functionality in the model now, and hopefully we'll be able to see it today. You can see it actually if I scroll in here. Now, one of the things, of course, is we're testing today. We're using our trading model. We're testing on the 5-second time frame, and that is to get lots of action and to see what happens and to make it interesting for you, the viewers. Plus, you can get an idea of what we're doing, how it works. So the smallest time frame that we can normally get on MetaTrader 5 is the 1 minute time frame, but you can see these lines going across the screen. If you look in the top left hand corner here, and you can see this is where the model is now buying and selling trades, taking trades, and we're now getting a trade report. And if I go to view and I have a look at my toolbox here, you can see here that
Yep.
We can see here we've got an exposure, we've got our long positions. You can see here we have got some trades open as well. Got a small profit showing there, and it's not bad considering we've only been trading for about 5 minutes so far. We're trading on small volume here. We're just demonstrating it, and hopefully you can see that you've got a lot of control over your strategy and been able to get the trades very quickly into the market. So
Yes.
you can
Yes.
see we've just closed the trade there, and if I go bottom left hand of your screen, you can see here we hit the profit target.
Nice.
I'm going to zoom in there. Yeah, we've been getting some good results, haven't we, Ren? I know you've
Yeah.
been poring over some of this. You've been making,
Yep.
you've been churning out dollars from this virtual dollars, haven't you?
Absolutely.
In
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
analysis and work on this.
I know yesterday we were talking for like about an hour and I made like $59. So yeah, it was
Nice.
pretty fun. I was like, okay, that's not too bad for an hour of just watching the very simple strategy run. Now I would say I don't know if that would happen all the time, but it worked. So I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, we're trading here on the 5 second time frame. It's not a recommended time frame. This,
Right.
I've said it many, many times on these live streams. I think this type of approach will be suitable for you if you're thinking about the 5 minute, maybe the 15 minute or 30 minute time frame. Lots and lots of
Yes.
trading opportunities, but you don't want to sit at your charts all day long. You want to get good execution. With the best will in the world, all of us can find it difficult to open and close trades based on our strict interpretation of our strategy, whereas Excel, it follows exactly the strategy rules, exactly the rules that you program into it,
Yep.
and follows it to the absolute.
Absolutely. And it's also not a black box. When you're looking at Excel, you can see everything. You can see all the settings, you can play with stuff. So it's not like going into a black box trading system where you're just turning it on and hoping for the best. Here you've got full control and you can see what's happening visually and you can see the numbers in all the columns. So everything is there for you to see and it makes sense because I think most people have used Excel at some point in their life. And so it's a spreadsheet standard format, makes it very easy to look and see what's happening. It's like you can see the inner workings of your trading system.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So Excel is yeah, the most accessible analytical tool maybe in the world. Just about
Mm-hmm.
everybody has used it, and there's a little bit going on in the model, but basically it's designed so that you can have full sight, as Ren was saying. You can have full sight. We're not doing a black box system here. You can understand the strategy, understand why each trade is opened and closed, and you can use normal Excel functions to do that.
Yep.
So we've got Excel. Its data is streaming in here every 5 seconds. You can see at the bottom left hand side of your screen, you can see a new bar is pulled into Excel. It's sent from the MetaTrader 5 servers. I think I'm correct in saying it's coming straight
Yep.
into Excel, and Excel is responding back if it wants to open or close a trade.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's so exciting to see the currency markets. We haven't really played with those until just recently,
Mm.
and it's very refreshing.
Yeah, it came about because previously, if you've seen our previous live streams, we were using a connection to Rhythmic RTrader Pro, which is predominantly a futures-based platform, and
Yep.
we were using that to access. In particular, we were looking at the NQ Nasdaq futures. Switching over to MetaTrader 5, it seemed obvious to at least try the spot forex prices that the platform was initially designed for, and it's worked fantastically well. So yeah, we're really pleased with that.
Very pleased. Yeah.
So if I go on here to the screen of the model, which is showing us you've got all your strategy inputs over here. You can use this to backtest as well. This is the basis of the Tradinformed models. They started off as backtest models, and
Yep.
with the extra input that Ren has done into the models, we've got a platform, we've got a system that you can use to develop strategies. You can backtest them, and now you can test them and trade them live in the market. What we're really doing today is testing the strategy. We're learning more about it. We can do things on the fly because it's only in the demo. We can change profit targets. We can add a trailing stop. We can
Yep.
change the whole strategy with just the click of a button.
Yeah, well, and if you look at these P&L charts, the underlying market is just getting destroyed, and our we're actually up on the day, which is incredible.
We're up on the last couple of hours at least. So yeah, it's holding its own very nicely considering it has been battered by this big move in the market. So there's a function here which I'm just going to check. I'm going to zoom in a bit if you're watching this on a small screen. Looking at the bottom left hand corner of your screen here, you see I've got a filter, and this is just a simple EMA filter. Now I check this box here, an example of how you can just use normal Excel things, and the strategy will adapt to that filter. So if I scroll back out and across here, you can see it's not made a
Yep.
huge difference actually, but you can see how it affects the capital graph in real time.
It
And
kept us out of trouble during that big drop, Mark. Like you can see how it stopped taking trades at that point. So that was
exactly. So I can make it longer, in fact, and we'll see bigger gaps, I expect.
yep.
You see there, this has
Oh
gone
yeah,
up to
look at that.
50. We've got bigger gaps. If we stick on a 200, that's a 200 bar exponential moving average. We'll have even bigger gaps here. You can do all this in real time. You can do it in backtest mode. You can do it in real time. So you've got the two, depending on
Oh,
bell
there we
there,
go.
signaling the opening bell. So we have the stock market is open, and we will see a lot more volume flowing into stocks, and we'll see how it affects the tone of the currency markets as well.
Yeah, it does. It does. Even the currency markets pick up a little bit during the
Mm,
opening bell of the U.S. markets.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is what you get with this type of approach. You can develop your strategies, you can backtest them with a large data set, you can work on different ideas, but then when you want to go live, or at least you want to test it in a live environment, you can do that as well. You can sit here, you're not actually doing the trades yourself, all you're doing is observing the strategy, maybe playing with different parameters, and you've got the ability to do that, try different strategies at different times of the day, and build up a knowledge of the markets that you're trading.
Yep, yep, it's really cool. So, have you taken a look at strategy two at all today? That's our mean reversion strategy to see how that would.
No, no, I have not, but we could do that. Shall I just have a quick look? So we're in a trade at the moment. That will
Oh, yeah,
close
okay.
very soon because everything is happening quickly at the moment. If I open up here, you can see that we're having so many trades just in the short time we've been running here. So many trades opening and closing. But it's giving you a feel for this is really happening, and this is what would happen if you were following this trading strategy in the live markets and you were following it, taking every single trade. So that trade is going to get a signal to close soon, and we can have a look at strategy 2. Strategy 1 is our momentum style strategy. Strategy 2 is our mean reversion strategy. So that trade has just closed. The signal should already have gone to MetaTrader. And we can
Yep.
try strategy 2. So just a question of, I better take off that filter. Just a question of checking the box. There we
Yeah,
go. Strategy 2.
not bad. I mean, it's still doing quite well.
Mm,
In fact, strategy two has a higher percent winning trades, I believe.
yeah. Oh, this is
Wow.
still the buy on the lows strategy. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is something that we introduced about a month ago, something like that, and it was in response to we were getting a lot of whipsaw trading because we were doing this at the start of the stock
Yep.
market open, trading the Nasdaq futures, we're getting a lot of whipsaws. So I thought, well, how can we try and avoid that? Well, we can buy on a lows, a number of consecutive lower closes, in fact, and that
Yep.
is what it is doing here. So we can adjust this. Again, on the fly, we can see how the data changes. That would be 3 consecutive lower closes, 2.
Wow. Two is very good. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's good.
and 1 even. Yeah,
Well,
well,
yeah. One's about a 50-50.
yeah. So there we go. There was 5 as well. But all the way that we're doing this, we're trying these new strategies, changing the parameters. We are still keeping to our strict money management setup. I'm using the ATR, which is average true range, which is one of my favorite ways to set stops and profit targets. And especially it works well with currencies. So I'm using the ATR, and I'll zoom in here. Again, bottom left-hand side of your screen, you can see what I'm doing here. Got a profit target multiplier. So that means it's 2 times the ATR. And we've got a stop loss of 4 times the ATR. That's not always going to be the optimal combination, but what we want to see with that sort of combination, where we've got a higher potential loss than gain, is we want to see a high number of winning trades. And
we've got it.
Yeah, that's what we're getting here. Again, I'm going to zoom in here. You can see here percentage of winning trades. That will update throughout the session like it did just then when we had evidently we had a losing trade, just this tiny one at the end here. Oh, it's changing again. So as data falls off the back, as it gets added, this is giving a running total of the recent trades, and it's adjusting all the time.
Yeah, so we're doing about 1,000 rows of data right now, but you could do more if you wanted to. So like if you took the backtest model, you could do like 10,000 rows, right?
Sure. Yeah, exactly. If you're working in backtest mode, which is the best place to start, certainly in my opinion, you want to start off with your idea, maybe something you've read, something that you've come across in the market, or just something you've dreamt up, and you can stick it in to the backtest model. You can program it using standard Excel functions. You don't have to be a programming whiz to open and close trades. Use standard Excel functions, and we've got a lot of help in doing that as well. Program your strategy in, run it on your data set, and see what the results are.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And you can also add in your costs. If there's a cost that you know for the spread that you're trading, you can add those into the spreadsheet as well. So you can actually calculate some costs, which is it's kind of a handy thing to do, because there's a lot. There's no commissions in some of this forex trading, but there are spreads. So how would you approach that, Mark, if you wanted to add a cost of a spread into this?
Yeah, so I would say you've got a couple of different options here. Fixed cost of trading, a spread would be probably the best way to do it for something that has got particularly a currency pair which has got a pretty low spread. The spread for the US dollar is tiny now. So you would just put that in here. So whatever it is appropriate with your broker. So yeah, that makes a big difference, and we would expect it to. In fact, the spread might be lower than that in reality, but it's giving you showing you the sorts of costs you'll get. But the advantage of putting it into this demo mode is that all the spreads are going to be taken into account in real world trading conditions as well. So you can see that. You can see the results piling up in your terminal. You can see as trades are triggered, and you'll find out whether your strategy is something that you want to trade or you need to do some further work on.
Exactly. Yeah.
And most of the time, if I'm quite honest, most of the time you will want to do further work on it, because this is a professional business. You need to be absolutely on it. You need to be having good strategies. You need to have good support for implementing your trades, and you need to be focused on the markets and adaptable as well.
Right. And that's what I like about having a back test and a forward test system like this. Over the weekend, I can download as much data as you want, and then go through that data and experiment with different scenarios that you might want to trade for the coming week.
Exactly. Absolutely. So, different time frames. You can look at different markets as well. So there is so many different options. You want to just refine it down to the sort of things that you're interested in, the strategies you like, and the time frames that are comfortable and easy for you to do. The thing is, with an automated system, you don't even have to be awake necessarily. This can just run in the background. It can run on your desktop. It could run on a virtual private server, as you mentioned earlier, Ren. So most of the time, if you're running on a very short time frame, you might want to keep an eye on it. If you're running on a longer time frame and you just don't want to be at your desk or your terminal trading, then that would work equally well.
Absolutely. And I have run this overnight recently with great results as well. So,
good.
Yeah,
we've noticed, particularly the NASDAQ, there was a long period where the NASDAQ overnight returns were a huge part of the gains, and there's every chance that pattern will reassert itself again in the future. So running something like this overnight to tap into
Mhm.
opportunities that come up when you can't possibly be awake and trade
Yep.
is another thing. Many people would find that useful.
Absolutely. And I think some of the currency markets seem, I will have to do some testing on it, Mark, because it looked like the currency markets are pretty good during the evening hours. So like that early morning here, I'm in Colorado, but like midnight to 6 a.m. seems to be just observing it from what I
Mm,
was running the back testing overnight seems
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the liquidity really piles in somewhere around
Mhm.
8 o'clock in the morning here,
Yes. Yeah.
UK time, something like that. And you're going to that's when the trends are going to assert themselves. And there's another time, usually, I mean, from about the time we started this live stream and a little bit earlier, you get another surge of liquidity as New York comes online and Chicago after that. It gets a bit quieter after that, but that may suit different types of strategies as well. So it's always good idea to have an idea of the time zones, your time zone, and how that affects the types of trades that you will see.
Yes, and you've put out some good videos about different times of the like seasonality, different times of day, all these things. So yeah,
Mm,
it's really interesting to see that. And once you start to know that, then you can build your strategies around those time frames.
yeah.
It's like what season is it? What time frame is it during the week? What time frame is it during the day? All those things could be categorized for strategies.
Mm. So remind anybody that's on the live stream, put a question in if you've got any questions, any thoughts, any ideas. Feel free to put it in the chat box there. Let us know what you think, and we will be happy to answer any questions. Talking about, I did some analysis about a couple of weeks ago, but I've not been able to get it out there actually, Ren. I was looking at the, I think it was the QQQ I was looking at, the NASDAQ ETF,
Yep.
and the SPY as well, actually, the S&P ETF. And I was looking at the different times of day. So got some interesting results, I think, at least, particularly comparing the period that we had about a year to about it. If you remember that we're 2020, we had the COVID crash, we had a crazy
Yes.
market recovery for about 18 months or more after that.
Hmm.
And then we've had the 2022 bear market, we should probably call it. I don't know what it's going to be termed, but we had the 2022 bear market. I looked at those different time periods and I looked at um, what how the market was performing, the pre-market, the main market, and the post-market as well. And up until 2022, this phenomenon, this overnight drift, upward drift in the Nasdaq and the S&P was very, very pronounced. But
Yep.
that practically disappeared for the first six
Oh,
months of this year. So
interesting.
and this is the point I was going to make, but I haven't actually got this information out there. The Since we had that recovery, so we went from roughly the middle of June to middle of August, I think it was. We had a strong, whether you call it a bear market rally, recovery,
We
whatever
did.
you call it.
Yes.
Yeah, we had
Yep.
that period, but that did not see the same overnight drift phenomenon. So that was a
Interesting.
predominantly in market hours
Hmm.
rally. So I'm not sure
Interesting.
necessarily about the significance of that, but it was pretty pronounced. So I'm going to try and get a video out on that soon.
Looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be very interesting to me because I was thinking that was a consistent thing still. So that's really good to find out.
Yeah, and yeah, so I need to get that video out soon because there's another few weeks worth of data to add to that, and I'll be
Yep.
interested to see what's happened because since then, of course, we've had yet another fall, and then we've had a
Yep.
bit of a bounce, haven't we?
We have, yeah, about a 7% bounce. Well, up until today, I think we lost a little bit of that, maybe
Yeah,
a 5% bounce since we slipped a little today.
yeah.
But
So I'm going to just have a quick, while I'm talking about it, I'm going to have a quick look at, let's look at the QQQ here. And I'll put it on a wider time frame. And I'll also, top left hand side of your screen now. See what I was
oh yeah,
talking about initially was this big, this huge 18-month period where we just went up and up and up,
yep,
particularly in tech stocks. Then we had this fall here where we did not see that overnight drift. We saw that we saw it actually pretty consistent across all time periods, which is no surprise really. But then zooming into the more recent period here, we did not
Yes.
see anything like as much trading going on. So basically, when you wake up in the morning and there's a gap up, we did not see
Yep.
that anywhere near as pronounced over this time period. So
Interesting. Yeah. So it
I'll see
didn't
what's happened.
return.
I'll update my analysis and hopefully get something out on that soon.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah. So basically, the overnight did not return. The overnight sessions did not return.
Not not during the period that I studied. So I'll update the analysis and we can see how that goes.
I am looking forward to it. Yeah, that'll be fun to see. So here you can see on we're looking at the chart where I see all the trades I guess we took recently.
Yeah, this is
So
your handiwork, isn't it, Ren?
yes.
You've basically just added some more functionality into the model. We're now taking trades, and you could see the trades, bang, bang, bang. Now, this is a little bit difficult. I'm talking about the chart in the top left-hand side corner of the video. Now, yes, this is a little bit difficult to read, which is predominantly because we're trading on such a fast time frame. That's to get some trading action. But you can
Yes.
see the principle. You can see the
Yep.
principle. If this was going just a little bit slower, you can understand that you're going to start seeing a record of when all your trades are being taken, and you'll see the results of in P&L terms, including the spread, including whatever was going on at the time. So
Mhm.
both good and bad, and you'll find out both for most types of trading strategy. Once you start trading it live, you'll find new things about it that you did not notice, either when you were dreaming it up or when you were backtesting it.
Yeah, and this is kind of an interesting view here because we're starting to see like levels building where our strategy is building its own support and resistance levels, which I kind of never really visualized it like this before.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah. That's another way to think about it. Yeah, support and resistance. Yeah, the
yeah.
maybe there's
We're,
going to be a
we're kind of
pattern in there.
it really does a good job of trading the range.
Yeah. So well, we let's zoom out
Yeah,
once
look at
more.
that.
The big price action occurred before we came on air, of course, because
Right.
that was at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. We had a huge reaction. That's the dollar strengthening,
Yeah.
not necessarily the euro weakening. It's the US dollar strengthening, and you can
Yep.
see once we started trading, we've actually been in a bit of a range,
Yeah.
which normally happens. I hesitate to say always happens, but it normally happens after such a big move. People start to, you would guess there'll be meetings going on around the place. What does this mean? People will
Yeah.
start getting out updated analysis. What does this mean? And we'll see where the next move is. Whether it's going to be disregarded, the dollar
Hmm.
will continue to weaken a bit, stocks may rise a bit more, or we're going to get a bit more of a sell-off.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The way I'm looking at it, like I had my platform set up slightly different. I hadn't quite seen it like this, but now I'm starting to see like how our system is basically bottom picking this and finding support levels to buy the currency. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, we're trading on such a small time frame. It would be very difficult to. It would look a bit different if we were showing the 5 second bars that we're actually trading on.
Oh
But
my goodness, yeah.
again, it gives us you always get a perspective. Changing the time frame, get a new perspective. Put this on the
Yep.
weekly time frame, and we'll be no doubt thinking something else.
Yes.
So let's see. So we're still on this strategy too. We're not getting many trades because we're only on a buy on 5 consecutive lows. So if I put this to
Right.
4, we would almost certainly get more trades.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of pausing at the moment, but yeah.
3, yeah, okay. Maybe I'll leave it at 5.
Five seems to be
It's all a voyage of discovery, and
yeah.
we're finding out new things all the time. Especially about this euro US dollar, which is it's always been my favorite currency pair, but recently I've only really been focused on stocks and stock indices. So it's good to be back having a look at this and getting some good theoretical results out of it in the Excel trading model.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing for me. It's refreshed back to the forex market. I'm really enjoying it. It's refreshing to see it. I kind of like got focused more on all the future stuff over the
Mm,
last couple of years, and going back into the forex market, it's really exciting.
yeah.
It looks like it's evolved. The market's evolved quite a bit too. There's a lot more brokerages out there offering it. Even like the big brokerage houses are offering forex these days. So it's become quite popular.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, part of that will be that we have had some big trends, particularly driven by the US dollar.
Yep.
Currency trends for a while now, when currency trends tended to drop off for a long period of time. So we've got the trends back in the markets. It makes it easier to trade.
Yep.
When you've got a
Yep.
distinct trend, it's always easier to trade, as long as you're trading in the direction of the trends, not trying to pick a bottom or a top, which can
Yep.
work, but it's more difficult. Um, and that's what strategy one is doing. It's trading in the direction of the trend and indeed the momentum. So the recent momentum, when the recent momentum strengthens, that's when it's entering the trade.
Exactly. Yeah. I like the momentum strategy for the euro too. It really works well. It's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah. So you said this earlier, Ren, but the contrast between um, I'm just going to scroll across here, again looking back at the Excel model at the bottom left hand corner.
Yeah.
An upwardly sloping line, okay, not a huge number
Yep.
of trades, and we're not taking account of costs specifically in this version, but that is a very definitive downward sloping line on the one below,
Right.
and we're only taking long trades,
Yep.
which is
This
a bit of
in
a
this particular strategy. Yeah.
that's a throwback to we were initially trading the index futures, so we were just taking long trades by preference, but now with forex you can very easily go long and short without any problems at all, and there's many good reasons to do that. So
Absolutely.
um, it's something to that we're going to introduce. There's no reason why we can't trade short. The only reason that we've got the long trades is that we're just keeping it simple at the moment. We're
Absolutely. And
just
and this
keeping it simple.
this spreadsheet can trade long, short, and the interface to MetaTrader has no problem with the long and short as well. So those are just things to turn on. But right, we've been focused on long only strategies for a while now. So and it's good to really focus on one thing at a time,
Mm.
and like whatever's trending. I think the strategies could work both directions. You just have to like find a trend and go with it. Or if it's going to be a range trade, I think that strategy two mean reversion works really well too.
Yeah, that's something
Anytime.
we've not actually talked about much. This idea of finding the best market and then trading it. So
Yeah.
there's loads of different ways you can find out. Even if you were limiting yourself to the top 6 currency pairs, you can find out
Yep.
or top 8 currency pairs. You can find out which is the strongest trending upwards, which is the strongest trend downwards on whatever time frame you like, and
Yep.
then you can say, well, I'm going to be trading euro today long, and I'm going to be trading yen short, and you can set up your models, plug in the data you want, and just let them run. And that is based on a higher time frame view of the strongest trends, and then you take the lower time frame, you're taking your trades, and in particular, you're getting an Excel model to actually take the trades for you.
Absolutely.
So to
Yeah.
keep
And
to
this
keep
is always,
to keep to keep us honest, to make sure we're actually opening and closing and the trades when we should
yeah.
do, because that is not easy.
Yeah. It takes the emotion out of it.
Mm.
You just follow the strategy.
So yeah. Um, well, once again, anybody that is on the live stream, feel free to drop a message in the chat box. We'll be happy to answer any questions or respond to any comments that you make. Euro US dollar working nicely again. I'm going to just scroll over there again.
Yep.
Seems like we're getting a bit of a bounce back. You can't really see it on the blue line here because this fall is so significant.
It
You can
is.
see it.
Yes.
You can see it a bit more in the looking at the top left hand chart. You can see it's making a bit of a recovery. It's taking back some of the losses that it made earlier. So
Yep.
yeah,
And and this is available today. Like the connection to MetaTrader, we just recently released this.
mm,
So yeah, we
yeah.
can actually.
And if you've just stumbled across this, you haven't seen our live stream before, you can download this for free. We're testing a
Yep.
slightly newer version, but there is a version. Everything you can get for free. You can get a download MetaTrader 5 for free. You can get a demo account for free, and you can use the software and the demo Excel model that we provide for free as well. And you don't have to take our word for it. You can test it. You can try it out for yourselves. We are working on a premium version of this model, and we're going to have some updates on that pretty soon. But for now, please feel free to use a demo version. Do with it what you will. Have a look at it. If you're not trading Forex, don't worry. There's plenty of other markets in MetaTrader 5.
Plenty. And here in the US, if you're running MetaTrader 5, you can get all the currency pairs in one futures, the S&P 500 futures, for free without even giving an email address. So they just let you download it and start running it.
There we go. So, Ren, you told me that lots and lots of brokers in the US offer MetaTrader 5.
Yep.
Offer MetaTrader 5. Oh, I think we got feedback there. And is that me? Okay. Is that causing the feedback from you actually, Ren? We muted. All right. Okay, so yeah, there's lots and lots of brokers in the US that offer MetaTrader 5 for some reason. I do not know why. Perhaps somebody can enlighten me. Not many brokers here in the UK seem to offer it. It's definitely available in lots and lots of European countries, lots of other countries around the world as well. So I don't know why the UK seems particularly badly served by brokers not offering MetaTrader 5, but I like it. It's going really well with working really well with our model, and it's such a good one to test and try out because loads of brokers offer it. You can get exactly the data stream that you want through the broker you want, and you can just run it through the demo version of the Excel model, which you can just get. There's a link below this video. Download it absolutely for free today.
Yep, absolutely. So looking forward to hearing feedback.
Whether you're watching this live or on catch up, the link will be there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing any feedback from anybody who has downloaded the MetaTrader 5. I personally talked to two of our listeners and viewers that have tried it. Montana, I think he was on our live stream last week, and our friend Bill. So I'm not sure. Montana really liked it and thought it was really cool. I haven't heard much back from Bill yet, but so looking forward to hearing feedback from anyone who gives it a shot.
Okay. Yeah, looking for feedback as well. So let us know, help us develop it. And so if there's something that you think you will like, well, you can just give it a try for absolutely no cost, no risk at all. And just let us know what you think, and we will be developing it further soon. So, Ren, I think we're going to come into the end of the live stream today. Do you have any more thoughts for anybody? Again, just one last time, pop any questions in the chat. Have you got any more thoughts, Ren?
Oh, no, that's good. I was just kind of looking for that bounce in the market, and doesn't seem we're getting one really.
No.
So, yeah. How did our strategy turn out? I'm curious about that. How are we doing?
Well, I was sticking back on strategy 1. So all I'm doing is just using the check boxes here. Like you can just put in anything here, flip between the strategies. So it's going to update in just a moment. There we go, back onto strategy 1. Yeah, again, upwardly sloping. We're doing this on a 5-second time frame. So a lot of these markets are very fractal. So you can often find that something that works on a 5-second time frame may work equally on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, even the daily time frame. So the fact that we can get it working, at least theoretically, not taking costs into account on the 5-second time frame is encouraging. So long trades only, sloping upwards, 74% winning trades for the ones I can see here. Taking 20 winning trades, 7 losing trades. Profit factor, which is gross value of all the winning trades divided by the value of all the gross value of all the losing trades. It's 2.25, which is good, respectable for such a short period of time, and a lot better than if you had just been holding euro US dollar over that time period to the long side.
Absolutely, much better. You did a lot better. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of that, I do like to think, comes from our strict target and stop loss, and that will vary. That will vary on the type of market, the time frame. ATR adjusts to your time frame, of course. So something You can use the same multiplier for the 5 second and the daily, or the 1 hour, the 1 week. It doesn't matter, but you may want a slightly different value for each of these different time frames, but it does of course adjust. So I think that's part of it. And there we go, another decent session to report.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I appreciate you hosting us. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for being here, Ren. Thanks for the updates that you've made to the model. And anybody watching, either live or on catch up, get this model. Link below the video, so click on that, get the model, and get in touch with us and let us know what you think, what you would like to see. Once you're on the list, we will let you know as soon as there's more updates, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. We're going to be doing another one the same time next week, so
Absolutely. Yeah.
I will see you then.
Looking forward to it, Mark.
Okay,
Have a great week.
and you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.